Thank you very much. Welcome back to Sikika Sasa, live from the Kirinyaga Catholic Church Hall in Kirinyaga Town, Kirinyaga County, literally on the slopes of the great mountain by the same name. Governor, we have a great panel of guests with us, including the Governor of Kirinyaga County, J.K. Ndathi. We've got Wanjiko Gatimo, she's with Maendeleo ya Wanawake, and John Kabwemwai, Chairman of Kirinyaga Business Association. Governor, there was a question for you and John before the break, and one of the tweets by Vix Leakey refers to that. And they're asking, what is the governor doing to improve the level 4 hospital? Because it is far below standards. That has to do with the question asked by Stanley over there about why do people, can only people go to 3 clinics and not the rest? Why, Governor?
I think, Jeff, I'm not here to defend anybody. But I also want to say that as responsible citizens, whenever we discover a crime is being committed, we also have a responsibility to report to the investigating agencies. And I thought in this room I had seen the Deputy County Commander of Police around here, and others I believe they are around here. But all said and done, Jeff, since we took over the management of health services in our counties, we have faced the teething problems. That we are taking new institutions that were least understood, very close to institutions. And like you appreciate that doctors, nurses, and the clinical officers, when they take their oath, there is a very close society. So even getting information through them is a mountain. We have had those complaints. I have had complaints from some of Kirinyaga people. And we have changed the management of Kirinyaga Hospital. We have, because of those challenges.
Is it improving, Governor?
The hospital is improving. But let me also say this, that we have had challenges in procuring our drugs also. Because of the way the money is also being remitted to the county government from the national treasury. So sometimes you realize that the drugs are perishing, but we don't have money to procure drugs at the right time when we are supposed to buy them. So you find certain periods of the month, 2 weeks, we are more or less having no drugs in our hospitals. But what we have done, let me give you the answer. What we have done, I've instructed the county minister for health and the county minister for finance to advertise through the newspapers for those services from interested merchants within this particular county.
Are they doing it?
They are doing it. That's the next thing that the people should be seeing. So that if you have to be sent for a laboratory test, it is not Mwananchi who will be paying. It is the county government that will be paying for those services at agreed prices.
Okay. John Kabwemwai, education question.
Thank you, Jeff. I don't know, before I comment about education, I would also like to maybe to make a complimentary on what the governor have just said. Because when we mention private clinics, we're talking about business. But what we also need to realize is that there is need to enhance public-private partnership. Because at a point, sometimes the government would wish to give this service, and on the other hand, the service is not readily available. And at that time, we are able to get it from the private sector. So as much as we are seeing it from the other side, we also need to encourage the governor to do as much as he could. We also need to encourage the private.
Is he working with you? Is the governor working with the business community?
So far, there's not much complaint.
There's not much complaint?
There's not much complaint. Because
so why are you here?
Because when I look at the private people...
No. Are you coming here to praise the governor? Is that what you're doing?
No. Jeff, I'm talking about the private-public partnership. Because it is not acceptable when, again, we see that the people who are enterprising in the private clinics to shut down.
Okay, answer the question about education.
Then on the other side, on the side of education, what we need to appreciate is that Kirinyaga is #1 in education, particularly the primary schools. And we are not zeroing it to an individual institution. I won't refuse that we have very scattered cases. But at the moment, there is a reverse effect because of the new government policy of the quota system. Jeff, we are having more mass movement of children, especially in class 7 and 8, from the private sector to the public sector, where they are going to time the opportunities of good national schools. The children are well nurtured, well prepared, but when it comes to the finish, you find the movement is greater.
From private to public?
From private to public.
So it doesn't matter as long as Kirinyaga is number one. Is that what you're saying?
But it doesn't matter because we are all prayers of Kirinyaga. Good,
okay. Yeah. I forgot to mention to our viewers that we have a spillover because there's so many people in this room. We have a whole lot outside this Kirinyaga Catholic Church Hall, a spillover section, and there's a gentleman, I think, out there with a question. Yes, hold on, Governor, hold on. Go ahead, you have a question?
Yeah. Kwa majina naitwa Maranatha. Nikitaka kuuliza swali kwa governor. Nilisikia kwa news anataka kujenga ofisi ya milioni 390. Saa hizi Kirugoya outskirts za barabara huwezi pita na ofisi ya DC iko. Sasa hizi pesa zote anatumia na huwezi enda barabara, hata ukiwa na mgonjwa huwezi pita. Badala hizo pesa alete huku atumie hii ofisi iko hapa kwa DC. Si ndivyo vizuri? Hiyo ndio swali yangu.
Governor.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff.
Mjibu.
I wanted to make a small statement on education. That when it comes to the secondary school per se, we have a big shortage of teachers. So far, we have a shortage of about 600 teachers for our secondary schools. So that's a major handicap which will require to be addressed for the primary schools.
Whose problem is that?
Teachers Service Commission. Those are the people who deals with.
Why don't you poach teachers the way you poach students?
I will leave that one for Kabwe to
Okay. Okay, Governor, 390 million shilling office.
Hilo swali lingine, wacha nimkwambie hivi Jeff. Mila zetu, kijana akisha tahiri na aoe, anaenda kwa nyumba yake. Huwezi kuweka governor. Huwezi kuweka governor kwa ofisi ya county commissioner.
Lazima ujijengee ofisi mpya.
Swali, sikiza Jeff nikwambie. Mtu ambaye, na hapa tuseme, wacha Jeff nikwambie, hii ni siasa. Wananchi wa Kirinyaga, hata kabla sijachukua hii ofisi, waliketi chini mpaka hata wakaenda wakafanya uchaguzi. Na wakaamua headquarter yao itakuwa Kutus. Sasa ikiwa kuna mtu moja mbili wa hapa Kirugoya town ambaye hajatosheka, the majority will have their way. The minority will have their say.
But Governor, that's not the issue. Fine, you can be in Kutus. Lakini the man is asking why a 300 million shilling, 90 million shilling office.
But the question I'm asking you, Jeff, hizo ofisi anasema siko kwa county commissioner. Situondoke saa hizi akatuonyesha, because I know they are not there. How can you be allocating in somebody's offices? Jeff, as we sit here, we have 2 county ministers. We were allocated a whole floor. Our procurement offices are here. The county minister for culture, planning, they are all here in Kirugoya, and the offices are not enough. So where was the governor coming to occupy those offices? Jeff, we are disjointed. We have staff, county staff who are based in Iparishu. We have county staff who are based in Kirugoya. We have county staff who are based in Kutus. And we have county staffs based in Kirinyaga.
But
we have to bring them together in a common building for us to be able to provide the services.
Governor, you have 2 years until the next election. You think you'll make it by that time?
Jeff, wacha nikwambie, this is for posterity. Even if I'm not re-elected in 2017, I will have made that history.
Mama, endelea.
Okay, thank you. I'm Christine Nyawera Gare. I'm a teacher by profession, but retired. I'm now an estate farmer. So my concern and the question is on farming. Kirinyaga, we are lucky. We have tea at the top, coffee and other horticultural crops in the middle, and the rice at the bottom. But I understand that the priorities that have been taken by the county government is on bananas, dairy farming, and the rice. So the tea and the coffee is completely forgotten. Some years back, children were educated through coffee, and the parents had a very smooth time. Unless we put emphasis on coffee and the tea, it will go to the dogs. The few farmers who are struggling with the coffee, when we go to ask for fertilizers, the subsidized fertilizers from the government, we are given 3 bags. And then you are told to go to Sagana all the way to get 3 bags. And then you cannot get more than that. When you go there, you find the pickups and the lorries ferrying fertilizers. And then you wonder where that fertilizer is going. We are appealing to the county government to consider estate farmers who are struggling and they want to maintain the coffee so that Kirinyaga will go back where it was.
Thank you, Nyawera. Thank you very much. Right.
My names are Lucy Jerry Moniki.
Lucy.
Mine goes on the...
Let's take your mic.
Mine goes on the issues of governance. This goes to the county government as a whole. As people of Kirinyaga County, we are feeling that public participation, although has been tackled in the last year, the county government tried a bit, but as we feel there was not enough public participation. Yeah, there was not enough public participation.
Public participation in what? In what?
In the mwananchi kuhusishwa katika policy making, budget making. It was there, but it was not enough. I don't mean it was not there. The tools and the mechanisms sometimes the county government uses is the Daily Nation, the website, and in fact, mwananchi huyo wa kawaida sometimes does not read. Cannot afford the newspaper. Yeah, that's the tools and mechanism. They should at least enhance on that. Number 2, on the bills, this goes to Mr. Kagwe, who represents the traders and also the county government of Kirinyaga. One thing, there is an example I'm going to give of the alcohol bill. Mr. Kagwe represents the traders. What didn't you do, or were you not involved in the formation of the alcoholic bill? Since now they're in court, which is now it's like it seems the county government and the people who are in the alcoholic whatever didn't match one another. What happened? You didn't represent the people of the traders very well.
Thank you. Go.
Thank you, Jeff. My name is Joe. I'm a youth from Kirinyaga. Mimi nikiwa kijana.
Joe, ongea na nguvu tafadhali.
Mimi nikiwa kijana na I'm very worried because the biggest problem you're having in Kirinyaga is leaders fighting. Leaders, after electing them after 2007, instead of them, the MPs, the senator, washikane, wafikirie mambo ya Kirinyaga. Mimi nikiwa kijana, I feel very worried because at the end of the day, tutaenda next election, we are going to elect you. But the issue of youth, haijaikuwa addressed at all. But I want to say something, that we need also to support the governor who is seated there. Because after we did the election, sisi zote tulisema modo no davi. Tiko tugire. So we shall wait until the next election. Tugire modo no davi. So why don't we, sisi viongozi ambao wamekaa hapa, tuko na viongozi ambao, we have women rep, I'm very sorry because even a MP who are Kirinyaga Central yuko hapa nibuliza swali, because to me like Uwezo Fund is a failure, is a fail because haitusaidii. Lakini sasa mimi naomba viongozi ambao wako hapa, tafadhali, mimi kama kijana ambaye nasikia uchungu sana kwa sababu mimi saidiki, lakini viongozi washikane, tuko na MCA, tuko na MP, wakuje pamoja na governor, wakae chini, tuko na Madam Wanjiko, tufikirie mambo ya Kirinyaga tafadhali. That's my question.
Thank you, Joe. Let me ask Honorable Winnie Karimi, who is a women's rep from Kirinyaga County. Uwezo Fund. Everybody here, most people say it's been a waste, it's been a failure. Do you agree? Because the Uwezo for women and youth, right?
Good evening, everybody. Okay, Uwezo Fund, what I can say is that it's on the way. Or what I
what do you mean happened. On the way?
It's on the way. Let me explain.
You go for super highway, how you go?
What has happened is that people must be trained in order to be given money. If you are given money without getting the knowledge, the know-how of how you're going to use money. So it's the training, and it is being done at the constituency level.
Okay, Mheshimiwa, how soon then? How soon?
Okay.
5 years, 10 years?
Already there are some constituencies receiving money. So I think, please be patient. You know, this is a government fund, and it has to have systems. And therefore, I know it is going to help people within a very short time.
All right.
Thank you.
Do you agree with this? Do you agree? Huh? Okay. Goja, Nini. Governor, Christine Nyawera asking about coffee, tea being a priority again. Sir.
Jeff, I totally agree with Christine that some of us went to school because of coffee and tea. So we actually appreciate the importance of these two crops. And both the county government and the national government, we have been having serious negotiations. And Jeff, I don't want to go into the details, that you know in the coffee and in the tea industry, there are major cartels, both local and international, whom we are trying to fight with. And some of you have seen the example of the Nyeri coffee saga, that when Governor Gachagua took up the mantle, those cartels made sure that the coffee of Nyeri is not going to be bought in the decent, within the shortest time possible. So they resorted to blackmail. And I'm saying those brokers, unfortunately, those brokers, they are also very living in the Kirinyaga County, that they are using some of our society leadership to make sure that whatever proposals the county government is coming up with is being frustrated.
So, Governor, what does that mean? Are your hands tied?
My hands are not tied, Jeff. What we have already done, and the majority leader of the county assembly is here, is that we are working day and night to make sure that agricultural laws and bills are fast-tracked within the county assembly so that we have the right teeth to deal with those people.
Public participation, Governor.
Public participation, Jeff, I do agree. There are challenges, like I've said, when you kick off a new organization like ours. And I want to agree, we might have to discuss the mode of communicating to members of the public so that they can be able to join us when we have those sessions in our sub-counties. Because public participation is normally held at the ward level. And our MCAs are the ones who have been spearheading that particular program. And I want to appreciate that the resources also for that process are minimum. So we are also limited in terms of the budget.
So you need to ask for more money, Governor. Are you advocating for pesa mashinani? Would you like more money for devolution?
Jeff,
no, ni swali tu. Si wanataka pesa?
Jeff, there is no leader who will study the presence of his people and tell them they don't require more money. And we have the justification, even as Kirinyaga County, that the Kirinyaga County budget that comes from the national treasury is 3.1 billion, Jeff. Out of 3.1 billion, we are paying 1.8 billion on salaries. What we have done is to reserve 1 billion for development projects. And out of 1 billion, out of the 20 wards that we have allocated each ward 25 million each for various projects.
And 390 for your offices, huh?
That one, Jeff,
it doesn't add up, Governor. It doesn't add up. John Kabwe Mwai, alcoholic bill.
Jeff, listen, that one is going to be implemented in 2 financial years. So it's not
Oh,
money.
kwa hivyo mchukue 145 na 145.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
agreed.
whatever it is, 180.
Yeah, and
Okay.
we must do it. And we are
John-
going to do it, Jeff.
John Kabwe,
whether you support it or not.
alcoholics, Bill.
Thank you very much, Jeff. There's something I would like to observe, and observe it very keenly, concerning the public participation. The way we are doing public participation in this county, Jeff, leaves a lot to be desired. Because within the Kirinyaga County, the government works directly with the business community. Because those are policy makers, the business community are the implementers. But when you come to the public participation, sometimes people are bundled together, all of them. I believe, if it is a bill regarding alcoholics, that bill should be casted directly in a way such that the owners or the business community has taken a big take, where they will discuss, they are the people in the business, and when they participate in making a bill, it becomes impossible for them to start complaining against the same bill. When you find them going in court, it suggests that there was a gap which was created somewhere. But then going to court does not mean that we have lost it. We are able to sit down, retract it, and maybe for the purpose of tomorrow, we'll correct it and then we move on. Jeff, we still have issues of matters concerning education, matters concerning other things. I would really appreciate if various committees who come up with, who handle different kind of bills which are normally manufactured by respective county executive members. I would really appreciate if it is trained, let you involve specifically for that.
Yeah.
When I look at the county budget, there's a budget of 10 million for public participation. So we cannot see that. We cannot see that we have.
The money is there.
But the strategy is the one which is not effective, and is the strategy which we need to work on, and to make sure that we complement the wishes of the CECs through public participation, but not making policies which will keep on running to courts.
Okay, we have a few more minutes before we break for the news. KTN Primetime News at 9, and I know your questions are coming in. Keep them handy real quick. But I'm going to read a couple of tweets, and I'm going to ask you for concluding remarks. We take a break, and then we continue the questions. Okay, so real quick. Teacher Teresa says, I agree, the youth need to be trained before receiving Uwezo funds. And then on coffee and tea, Governor is right on point. That's Teacher Teresa there. And I have another tweet from Evelyn Ogutu. She says, public participation is a right. County Government Act of 2012. Dan Githinji says, building a multi-million shilling office for governor when youths are jobless is a total scam. Watu? Wanjiko, concluding remarks, please. Go.
Now I want to ask the Kirinyaga leaders, do we have any illegal brew in Kirinyaga? Do we have any illegal brew? Because all the brew in Kirinyaga looks like it is legal. Have not heard of any brew which has been closed up. All of them are functioning. So I'm asking, do we have any illegal one? And Nakanda, Dr. Gaku, she can bear me witness. And that's why our youth, our men, are drinking themselves to death because it's like they have a license to drink. So I'm asking the county government, can you go to the people, close all those, let me call them legal brews, mostly in the Uko Mashinani, because our people are getting finished. Yeah.
True, true. Very sobering remarks there. Thank you, Wanjiko. John Kabwe, give us some conclusions.
Thank you, Jeff. I think I'll be very brief and start by saying, on the side of legal brews, let us pull up our socks, let us put structures right, and let us abide with the Motuzoro on drinking time. On the other side, there's an issue which was raised about the roads, and that question is not yet answered, because even if that money has not come to Kirinyaga, we have respective members of parliament who are representatives of the national government. And this is why we are saying we cannot say that there's a gap, because if they're the members of parliament, I believe the governor and the members of parliament should sit down and ask themselves, this is for the county, I'm doing it. This is for the national government, you members of parliament, go to Nairobi, bring us what is for the national government. Because I believe our members of parliament are there for us because of the national kitty. Then finally, Jeff, on the public participation, I really appreciate to see Kirinyaga working as a team by not using very short notices on public participation, because at the end of it, we all want to succeed. Nobody wants to be left behind. But if you come overnight and see that there's public participation tomorrow there, at this time we are talking about very critical and crucial bills. It means that at the end of it all, the people who will take that information back to the governor, first and foremost, it will be assumed. Because there is this bill which has been discussed by the cabinet and taken to the county assembly for discussion, the governor will assume that that thing has gone at the right time, and it has taken the right time, and maybe the right resources. So we want to see a better strategy in public participation, especially where the professionals in that particular interest. We want to see the professionals involved.
Okay, Governor J.K. Duthie, you get the last word before the news.
Thank you, Jeff. Let me say this, Jeff, that even when I was campaigning to be elected a governor of this county, I made public pronouncements that when I'm elected the governor of this county, Kutus shall be my headquarters. And I'm living to my promise. And maybe I can now even understand why Kiama was mourning that we should have met in Kutus. Because if this meeting was held in Kutus, the issue of the headquarters, Jeff, would not have, nobody would have raised this issue. And let me also assure the people of Kirinyaga that the town of Kutus, the town of Kirogoya, in the next 3 years, these are towns which are going to merge. You never even know when you are in Kirogoya and when you are in Kutus. All the county functions, especially the national, the level 5 hospital, we are developing it here in Kirogoya. The biggest jail in this county is in Kirogoya.
It's the biggest jail.
The county commissioner, the county commander, our police in AP, they are all based here. So the county assembly is in Kirogoya. So there is nothing that the Kirogoya people have lost. This is one twin town called Kutus Kirogoya, and originally that used to be the name. And we should not remember too much arguing about where the headquarters is. Jeff, let me also assure the people of Kirinyaga County that the county government of Kirinyaga is on course. We are very professional people in the way we do our things. We are seeking for patience from our people, and I know in the next 2-3 years, some of these challenges that we are facing, and I want to agree there are challenges about public participation. But we are saying, and the Constitution is very clear, it talks about public participation more than 20 times, in addition to the County Government Act. So we are aware that we require to do more than we are doing. But this is a young child that is crawling. Let us be given time to stand on our 2 feet. And the noise, I believe, will go down.
And whether you're here or not in 2017?
Dave, we are mortals. Who tells you you'll be there even in 2017?
I'll be here.
You can also die.
No, I'll be here.
It's human. And Jeff, what we are also saying on the alcohol,
yes,
we have passed the bill. And let me say that it's not because there were no enough consultations with the business community. Personally, I sought the indulgence of the county commission that because we are transiting, these people should not be harassed. Let them be allowed to do their business as we prepare how to license through the county government.
Okay, on that point, we're going to break. We're going to break away. Hold on, John. We're not finished yet. We're going to break for the news, but we'll continue asking the questions. So hold that thought, John. In the meantime, those of our viewers who are going to be leaving us right now, I'd like you all to join me in thanking our guests, starting with Wajiko Katimo from Maendeleo Wanawake. Makofi. John Kabwe Mwai from the business community. And of course, the governor of the county of Kirinyaga, J.K. Duthie. Okay, all right. Let's continue tweeting at UNDP Kenya, at KTN Kenya, at Koinange Jeff. The hashtag is Sikika Sasa. Kwa sababu kama si sasa. Next week, new county, new guests, new topic, new themes. Keep it tuned to KTN every Friday, 8 p.m. live for Sikika Sasa. In the meantime, KTN's primetime news at 9 coming up in a few short minutes. Thanks so much for joining us. Good night. Good luck.
This is KTN. Welcome home.